Welcome back to Mondays with Melissa. I'm so excited that you're here as we are continuing the Healthy Holiday series. And today we are focusing on mental health. And I can share a little bit of my journey on this just because I do have a journey with mental health, and we all do. We all have a journey or a history with mental health. And I think that we really need to remove the stigma surrounding mental health, to be completely honest with you. I think that's something that trips people up. But a little bit of my journey, you can go back and listen to the first podcast episode I ever did. I share a little bit about this, but I was diagnosed with PTSD from childhood trauma. That's mental health related, right? And so I want to share with you today some things that have really been helpful for me on my mental health journey of healing. And I'm hopeful that they will be helpful for you as well. Just kind of some key takeaways that I did, things that you might want to implement as we're getting closer to Christmas. I know that, again, Christmas can be hard. It can be stressful. It can be painful. It can be overwhelming. It can bring up a myriad of emotions and feelings, experiences. And so I want you to be prepared to have a healthy holiday, as healthy as possible based on where you're at, your journey, kind of what's gone on. But let me just add this. I'm a holistic health coach. I'm a life coach. I'm not a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a psychotherapist. I'm not diagnosing anything. I'm just sharing some things that I've learned on my journey that are kind of big strokes that help people in regards to mental health. And one of those is diet. So if you do find yourself maybe feeling, a little more anxious or a little bit nervous, maybe there's some stuff that's kind of coming up from the past, because that can happen around the holidays. We're seeing family members, and if things haven't been amended or rectified, that can certainly happen. There's two great books called The Body Keeps Score is one, and The Body Remembers, and it's about trauma and the impact that trauma has on our body and our muscle memory. And we're so interconnected, but yet again, we've done ourselves and society a disservice in not integrating all of those parts of us. We've only, associate health with food and fitness and how we look and what we weigh. And that's not the case at all. It's all interconnected. So it's all integrated. So it's super important that we understand this connection. And that's part of why I'm doing this. So again, what you eat has a huge impact on your mental health. And I don't do one size fits all. I don't believe in a certain way of eating. The best way of eating is what works for you and your unique body type. Across the board, from a mental health perspective, eating foods in their whole form is the best way to go. You want to avoid the chemicals, the additives, the fillers, the dyes, the sugars, the processing. That is not good for our mental health. So a whole foods diet is a really great baseline for society, to be honest with you. So again, that the dyes, the sugar, the additives, the chemicals, those all impact mental health. And the reason for that is there's a huge connection between our gut and the brain. And what we eat and what goes into our gut affects our brain, because again, it's connected, they're linked. And so it's super important that you get your nutrition in check and you make sure that you're eating in a way that supports your mental health. And so again, I'm a big proponent of whole foods and low sugar, not sugar free. I don't believe you can avoid it entirely. I believe you can break free from sugar. That's what I help people do. But again, I think it's low sugar and whole foods, and you want to avoid dyes. Caffeine might impact you, alcohol may impact you. But again, just listen to your body, see what works best for you. I think the other thing in terms of mental health is, we talked about this last week, is really kind of working through some feelings, working through maybe some past hurts, and offering forgiveness if needed, or receiving forgiveness, or even forgiving yourself, right? I think so many times we hold on to stuff and we don't let it go, and that impacts our mental and emotional health as well. And so really kind of work through some past hurts if you need to. And again, I'm a big proponent of finding somebody to do this with you. I like to say that coaching is meeting people where they're at and getting them where they want to go going forward. Whereas a counselor kind of helps people with where they are and working through the past and healing and working through some things that are maybe keeping them from moving forward. That's kind of what the difference between a counselor and a coach, right? Like counselor focuses more on the past, the hurts, the wounds, whereas coaching focuses on the here and gets you where you want to go. Together, it's an incredibly powerful combination, as you can imagine, because you've got to heal from your past in order to go forward. And so the two together can really yield powerful, powerful results. I know that that's been my experience. I've worked with both. So I would recommend that for sure. But you've got to work through that past stuff. And then also maybe drawing some boundaries, figuring out, you know, how much energy do I have to do this? How much can I commit? I think this is a really full time. We've got Christmas programs, we've got expectations, there's gifts to buy, there's events to host, parties to go to. Like, it is a full month. So just know what you're capable of, what you can commit to, what you can feel good about, and draw some boundaries. It's okay to say no. It's okay to not do all of the things. I don't think the neighbors will care if you bring store-bought cookies instead of homemade ones. I just don't. So let go of some of the expectation that you have of yourself. Let go of some guilt and some shame and some of those emotions that we put on ourselves. Look at your calendar, assess what you can say yes to and feel really good about it, and then say no to the rest. And know that when you say no, you're giving someone else an opportunity to say yes. If you do everything, nobody else gets to do anything, and that's not really kind of fair. So my encouragement for being mentally healthy this holiday season is nutrition for sure. Watching what you're eating, that whole foods diet is key. And along that note, and this is going to go back to the physical health podcast, you want to make sure you're getting your sleep, you want to make sure you're getting your hydration, you're moving, you want to make sure you've got those healthy habits as a foundation, because that impacts mental health as well. We're all interconnected once again. So make sure you're focusing on what you're taking into your body. You want to work through some things that you maybe need to work through. Maybe anybody you need to forgive, any forgiveness you need to receive. And then set some healthy boundaries. Know what you can and can't do, and feel really good saying yes to those things, and feel really good saying no to those things too. So I hope that this is helpful for you in having a healthy holiday season. These are just some things that I've learned on my own journey, again, that have helped me on my healing path, if you will, and some things that have served me really well beyond the holiday season. So I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.